Hello, this is Paul Drockton with pauldrockton.com and the Paul Drockton radio program. Today we're going to talk about Mitt Romney and his attempt to lie his way through the Arizona primary. In reality, Americans have to make a decision. Do you want a president you can trust or not? And if we just let people tell us whatever they want to tell us on the TV and we don't research the facts or look at the record, then we're just permitting ourselves to be deceived. And really, the people of Arizona deserve better. One of the biggest issues, one of the most important issues for the people of Arizona is the issue of illegal immigration. Now, in reality, we all know that the globalists, starting with Bush, have done nothing to help the situation, but have only made it worse. That we've had absolutely no support in defending our southern border with Mexico, that people have been permitted to come into this country unhindered, that while we are checking individuals at our airports to see if they have a bomb in their undergarments, we have individuals coming across the border without so much as a second glance from the federal government. Now, this has had a devastating impact on the economy in Arizona because what it does is it forces individuals to compete with labor that is going to cost a lot less, and as a result it lowers everybody's standard of living. The only ones that have benefited from cheap illegal immigration have been companies that don't have to pay Social Security taxes, that can pay the illegal immigrant much less than an American worker. And let me tell you something, one of these companies is Marriott. And if you look back at some of the things that Bill Marriott has said about illegal immigration, you'll understand why Mitt Romney and his record have been pro-illegal. Remember, Mitt Romney received $130,000 in compensation from the Marriott Corporation. He sat on the board, sits on the board, I assume, since they're paying him that kind of money. And Bill Marriott has been very clear about his support for illegals, basically coming out and saying that his business couldn't survive without him. So what Marriott's basically telling people is that his hotel chain would go under if they were not permitted to bring in illegal immigrations or illegal immigrants to replace American workers. This is a huge problem, my friends. We've got close to 24% real unemployment in this country. We've got individuals living on unemployment checks. We've got individuals that are been reduced to the poverty level, and we're doing nothing to protect our workforce. This, my friends, is part of the globalist scheme to reduce all of our standard of living to the least possible amount. Why? Because they never have enough. No matter what they have, it's never enough. That's what we need to realize, is that there are individuals like Mitt Romney that are part of the problem, not the solution. And in spite of his lies, in spite of his claims that he has been against illegal immigration, the record just shows the opposite, the exact opposite. If you read my article today at pauldrockton.com, you'll see that Mitt Romney has been one of the biggest proponents for illegal immigration in the United States. And I'm going to quote from this article, and let me just read this to you. In spite of his claims that he's been hard on illegal immigration, this is from an article in the National Review, and it says this: I think an amnesty program is which is all the illegal immigrants who are here are now citizens and walk up and get your citizenship. What the president has proposed, he's talking about President Bush, and what Senator McCain and Common have proposed are quite different than that. They require people signing up for registering and receiving a registration number, then working here for 6 years and paying taxes, not taking benefits, and then at the end of that period registering to become a citizen. And I think that these are reasonable proposals. In other words, what he's basically saying is that you can come into this country illegally, as long as you're working, as long as you sign up for a federal ID number, that they're going to give you amnesty. So those individuals who have gone through the legal immigration process, those individuals that have paid the price to become United States citizens, their efforts mean nothing under Mitt Romney's proposals. And then he says, those who've been arrested or convicted of crimes shouldn't be here. Those that are here paying taxes and not taking government benefits should begin a process towards application for citizens as they would from their home country. And then he went on and said, in 2006, he went on and criticized Republicans who didn't support the Bush-McCain amnesty legislation. Meantime, one of McCain's potential rivals for the GOP nomination, Massachusetts Governor Mitt Romney, has made it known that he supports the president's immigration position, saying that Republicans who have broken rank with Bush made a big mistake. Look, Mitt Romney's a globalist, my friends. Globalists want cheap labor. They want you and I to be working for minimum wage. That's why they force us to compete with individuals that are willing to work for less than minimum wage. Now, one of the other lies that Romney has perpetrated is the lie that he deputized state police to enforce federal immigration laws. The reality is that he waited until 18 days before his term ended to sign the legislation. Because it was a 5-week training period, the law never went into effect. It was simply ignored. So Romney did nothing to deputize the Massachusetts State Police to enforce federal immigration laws. Don't be fooled by these lies. And then we have his sanctuary cities in Massachusetts. And sanctuary cities are municipalities that defy federal law by offering safe haven for illegal aliens. Romney talked tough on the issue in both his campaigns. He even said he cut back federal funding to cities that are sanctuaries for illegal immigrants. And he said, I think we should cut off some funding to cities that call themselves sanctuary cities. But his record is completely opposite. Romney might well get tough on sanctuary cities in the future, but he didn't when he was the governor of Massachusetts. During his tenure, at least 4 Massachusetts cities enacted or renewed legislation declaring themselves sanctuaries for illegal immigration. We asked Romney's campaign if he had acted against these cities, but they didn't provide us with any examples. As far as we were able to determine in our own research, Romney made no attempts to penalize, censor, or cut funding to them. Indeed, Romney continued to give local aid to 3 cities providing sanctuary to illegal aliens: Cambridge, Massachusetts, Orleans, Massachusetts, and Somerville, Massachusetts. In Romney's 2006 budget, just a year before he called for the federal government to cut off aid to sanctuary cities, Governor Romney poured more than $88 million in state aid to these 3 municipalities. So he didn't cut aid to sanctuary cities, he increased the funding to these cities. So what do you think he's going to do as president? The reality is that Mitt Romney has no intention of enforcing the law. And in my next video, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Utah Compact and the Mormon Church's support of illegal immigration and how Mitt Romney and his Romneyites were behind supporting that piece of legislation. And at the very least, how he failed to come out and oppose it. Until then, have a great day. This is Paul Drockton. You can read my articles at pauldrockton.com. You can also hear me daily for 2 hours from 3 to 5 Mountain Time, 5 to 7 Eastern Time, on the Renz Radio Network. God bless, my friends, and have a great day.